Great skills again by him. Oh, marvellous goal by Lewis.
Welcome to the Rangers journey.
Guys, good evening. Pre-match of Ferencváros against the famous Glasgow Rangers, and we've done absolutely no preparation. I've only just seen the lineup. Literally just in the door from my work. Today has not went as planned, so apologies we weren't on earlier. I'm joined by Dino. How you getting on, buddy?
I'm good, thank you, mate. How are you?
Stressed at my box for anything here. I'm doing all right. How you doing, Nicky? We'll just got to run through teammates. So as expected, obviously Jack Butland is going to start in goals for us. We've got Tavernier, Giga, Fernandez, Makoma, Aarons Raskin, Baron Danilo, Gisama and Majovski. Available from the bench, Kelly, Sterling, Stewart, Adamson, Curtis, Cameron, Moore, Asgard and Charmiti. Initial thoughts on the lineup, mate. I'm not really too sure what I see as far as a team shape is concerned. Do you think he's looking at three at the back here?
Aye, 3-4-3. It looks like, but I'm no. I think it's just such a failed thing having Danilo playing wide or side or sun. Do you know what I mean? He's just square pegging a round hole, if you ask me. When he's got a perfect opportunity to give young Curtis minutes, who's probably going to be one of the best finishers in the team. So, and hi. Other than that, I was kind of expecting him to go with that because I believe they three at the back as well.
Do they? Right.
And the big boy up front,
Vargas. He's a goal machine.
Nine goals in 9 European games this season, eh? So I was expecting us to have a wee bit more defensive cover at the back with him up front, and also the fact they play three at the back.
I mean, he might be just kind of, playing the three centre halves here, Tavernier, Giga, Fernandez. We're not going to know till obviously we get in about it. One thing, just looking at this for me, mate, it's not a single, apart from Connor Barron, there's not a single Scottish player in the team.
No.
So, and you're looking at the quota that we've got to have for the European squad. You're thinking, obviously, Souttar's out of contract. What means to be that with there? We've got to be signing some Scottish boys, surely. January into the summer.
This is it. It's the minimum is 4 club trained players from other nation trained players, and 4 club trained. And we've not. I don't think we've actually registered 4 of each since Walter Smith was in charge. I actually think it's that long ago since we actually. I mean, when Walter Smith was in charge, you could have fielded 11 Scotsmen.
Almost, aye. Yeah. And it's probably you're filling your bench with kids then, because you're then looking at obviously Curtis, Adamson, which is great to see. He's been on loan at Alloa this season. I'm hearing great things about him. Stewart, I'll be honest, not sure who that is. I'm sure he's come up from the B team. And Cameron as well, who just whatever reason just can't seem to get a game for us. So, but that I'm not being critical of it. I just think it just shows that there is work to be done, and I think we need to be quite aware of that. We might leave ourselves a wee bit thin on the ground if we are going to be just going with this and not naming full 25-man squads.
Yeah, that's just what it's got to be.
Yeah. So obviously Tav's came back in. It was dropped at the weekend. Decided he was going to play Aarons at right back. You pleased about that?
Well, I mean, in terms of cover at centre half, we're lacking in that department, and Sterling's not even had any minutes since April. So if he was fit, he would probably have suggested that Sterling would have been in there ahead of Tav. But unfortunately, we've got such just lacking cover. So Tav's got to come in, and we just hope that he has a good, solid defensive game.
Yeah, I'd like to see another goal from Majovski tonight. Obviously, it's been a stutter and a start for him, but he's managed to get 2 at the weekend there. Hopefully, he manages to find the back of the net tonight.
Well, he's got to be in and play him to his strengths. He's no an Alfredo Morelos type centre forward. He's more a Tolak type centre forward. give him the ball in and around the box, running behind the centre halves. He'll and his goals at the weekend weren't exactly easy to score, so proving that he can score the difficult goals. So let him stay in and around the penalty box.
Yeah, I think it's probably when we spoke about kind of one of my obvious strengths was that, you know, the ball coming up over the top and being able to hold off the centre half. I think there was a goal in particular, I remember, that he scored against Rangers at Ibrox for Aberdeen, that he basically, you know, Goldson off as was at the time, and he managed to kind of push his way through behind the back of the net. And I think probably this is the game where you'll see him. It will be looking for that out ball. I'm not under any illusion it will be large parts of the game where we're not in possession. It'll be with the home team. They seem to be in a pretty rich string of form at the moment. They're obviously looking to try and cement themselves in the next round, and I think a win tonight pretty much do that for them.
I will. Looking at stats, they are a team that in the Europa League or in the league or something, they're one of the lowest in terms of possession in games, so might actually suit us better us having more of the ball. So I think they might be more of a counter-attacking team, but
right.
So that's what I'm looking to see. What I've looked at them being in the Europa League anyway.
Brilliant, mate, brilliant. Now, where is Europe as far as your priority list is concerned? A win tonight, in theory, still keeps us in the competition. I believe the target is 10 points. If you get 10 points, there's a strong possibility you're going to find yourself in the playoff round. Obviously, a loss tonight would pretty much seal our fate that we're going to be out of the competition. Now, we've still got another 2 games. We've still got Ludogorets to play at Ibrox next month, and we've obviously got a trip to Porto away at the end of January. We're, as far as kind of what we would do, would you be, if it was an unfortunate loss tonight, would you be looking just to play kids against Ludogorets, or do we still have a professional pride to play for, or should we be prioritising domestic competitions?
Prioritising domestic competitions, but in the same breath, you want to be having a stronger finish. Although the coefficient is going to be low, you still want it to be as high as what we could actually get it at for the points and obviously for the money as well. But the grand scheme of things, given the current state of the league, it's there for the taking. The surgery that's needed in January, surgery that's needed for the league for us to go in and make us as strong as possible for the second part of the season. European football, I think it's just been that much just wasted this season. I struggle to find positives from that other than the financials of, finishing strongly as possible. But I mean, at the end of the day, last year and onwards, you'd be expecting, we'd be looking at 7 points from these remaining 3 games, wouldn't we? And time's gone past, and you'd fancy yourself to actually go to Porto and get a good result. But I didn't fancy that in the last game of the Europa League, given that we're obviously going to have players in January. But I just think we should be concentrating on domestic football, because second place this season, you don't go into Europa League, you go straight to the Conference League. So as no competition, any Rangers fan wants Rangers to be in, and albeit you can get in the Europa League by winning Scottish Cup, but that again is, that's a big if. However, I think, focus on the league, and if we can get some good players in and get a good run of results between now and then, we could be hopefully maybe able to put a wee title challenge in, but let's take it one game at a time and keep that optimism. But definitely concentrate in the league for me.
Does it not seem a bit strange, though, that finishing second in the league only sees you into the third tier competition in Europe, whereas winning the Scottish Cup gets into the second tier? It's almost come back to the Cup Winners' Cup used to be seen as a second tier competition in Europe. Prior to when that got dissolved back in the 90s, I think it was, when
late 90s, I think.
Was it Chelsea with the last team to win it, something like that? I think it was round about the kind of Rud Hewitt, Vialli kind of era that got dissolved. It just seems a bit strange that the Europa League's, is awarded to the Scottish. If the team that wins the league wins the Scottish Cup, it'll probably go to the finalists for the Europa League who they play against. It's a strange one. A really strange one.
I remember them doing the pod with the coefficients guy, and he basically broke it down. It's because of previous Scottish teams' performances in Europe over the last 5 years or whatever's been that bad that the points are the way that they are for the league structure, but obviously different for the cup. I mean, but if that doesn't send alarm bells around Scotland, I don't know what is. When you look south of the border and what, like this season, did they know of like 6 teams in the Champions League?
It was crazy, mate. It was crazy. But let's
you know
not
what I
kid
mean?
ourselves.
So-
We've carried the can for Scotland for as far as the coefficients concerned for
Yeah.
years. And the mental thing about it is we've been carrying the can, picking up all the coefficient points, and the team on the other side of the city are reaping all the financial rewards for it because they're the ones that are still winning the league. We're the ones that get the coefficient points, so you get straight into the Champions League. They win the league and basically reap it. You couldn't write it, honestly. It's ridiculous the way it kind of falls.
Yeah.
There's a wee comment here for Scotty, guys. We're actually almost at 5,000 subscriptions on YouTube. So if you're picking us up, guys, there's around about 50 people watching us on X and 50 people watching us on YouTube. So if you wouldn't mind a wee subscription on YouTube, the boys, everyone here, and girls even, sorry, we'd appreciate that very much. Thank you. I'll get myself into bother with the lassies here, do you know? Grand. Let's just have another quick look there. So obviously, as we're talking about kind of the priority of domestic competition here, one guy that's not travelled is Joe Rothwell. He seems to have fallen off a cliff here. Is he that far out of favour with the manager? And you know, if it so happens that we do go out of Europe tonight, then do we then start to look towards guys like Rothwell? I don't think Liam Kelly's had any minutes this season either. Dujon Sterling's needing minutes. Is that then an opportunity to start playing them?
Aye. To be quite honest with you, in regards to Rothwell, I think his Rangers career is over, mate. I've not heard the manager come out and say that he's injured, and for how out of form Raskin's been, I think Diomande is crap. If I'm being quite honest with you, Barron's been our best central midfielder this season, in my opinion, and so it's not as if there's players that are performing at a high level in front of him. And the same breath with Lyle Cameron, it's not like there's, you know, like what's happening for him not to be getting a game. Now Rothwell's going to be on good wages, I'd imagine, coming for Bournemouth. He's going to be on probably 30 plus grand a week. He'll be on good money. And
I don't know if as much as that.
But he'll be on between 20 and 30 grand, maybe. Right?
20-ish, I'd imagine. Ballpark figure. I mean, obviously, we'll never be privy to that, but I think Tavernier's the highest earner on about 30 grand. I'd be surprised if he was above him.
Right. Well, it's obviously coming from England, you're going to be demanding big wages, and being 30-year-old, do you know what I mean? Like, you're that age and you can't get a game. I think you've got to say bye-bye to your Rangers career and be looking to your agent to get you a move in January. It's a
3-year contract he was given, though, mate. It's a
big amount of wages to be getting wasted, not even on the bench, sitting in his flat or house, whatever it is, back in.
Well, the problem is, though, if he's in 20 grand, you know, a week, and we're looking to put him on, he's sitting around 20 grand times, you know, what will that be, 33 years? It's a right good number. And if we then try and get him a championship club, he's going to be in for a payoff office. And that's the thing. It's like, and this is why you're seeing the likes of Dowell, Ben Davies and stuff like that, Rabin Matondo. This is why these guys haven't got off the books, because we're awarding under, you know, like overrated players higher value contracts than what they are. You know, it's bonkers.
I do think, though, going by what everybody was saying about Rothwell, I think Rothwell did come with higher expectations than him, because he was performing at a consistently high level for Leeds last season. So I don't think that he would be short of offers in the Championship, because he was a very good player for Leeds last season. So, but the other three, I mean, flatter to deceive, don't they? And they're all on good money. But I don't think Rothwell would, in my opinion, would struggle for offers. Now, Dujon Sterling, going by what Danny was saying about him yesterday and stuff, I think he's going to be getting minutes tonight. Great. And you start easing him back in. So by the time the sort of tail end of December comes, he'll be back up to match fitness, which is quite crucial, because we've got, I believe, Hearts, Celtic and Aberdeen twice in the next 7 games. So he's probably going to be our best available defender, and we need him. We need him match fit.
His defence where you see him though, because
He
we've
has
seen him everywhere apart from in the cage. I
Okay.
had a mental dream when we beat Celtic in the cup final. Dushon Sterling handballed the ball in the last minute and Butland saved the penalty. And we were all even handing singing Super Dushon Sterling in goals. Mental dream anyway, sorry. But in all honesty, apart from in goals, I've seen him at left back, right back, centre half. He's played in the middle as a 6. He's played as an outside right forward. He's been everywhere for Rangers. But where would you see whose jersey is he after? Who would you see him taking?
He has to be going in. At centre half at the moment. Has to be, because we don't have any. I mean, Fernandes he's actually turning out to be a relatively solid, maybe, 6 or 7 every week probably. You know what I mean? So he's coming into game, getting more time, getting more confidence. But other than that, defensively, we don't really have any good defenders available at the moment. So I would say he's probably got to go in at centre half.
We're looking at there's a quote for you for the great quote, the great wall of Canada. Sorry, playing him at centre, but Giga's away. Take the words right out of my mouth, mate. That's exactly what I see. You've got to get match fit because we're going to lose Giga, which then only leaves us with Fernandes there. We've not been told how long Souttar's injuries for. Could be anything with Big John. Cornelius was last seen in a set of crutches, so that's not looking great either, mate.
No, we're definitely needing Sterling to be up and running, because that's right. Giga goes away. He plays. I think he's available as a Hibs that we've got on Monday. Hibs we've got on Monday.
Aye, yeah, probably.
And he's away
for that one.
Aye, he's going to be available for that, but away to the AFCON on Tuesday. So after that, we're down to, somebody just said there, Inciala, Fernandes as our two, their favoured positions are both centre half. Tav's a makeshift centre half, Sterling's a makeshift centre half.
Mate,
so
we've got Tynecastle next weekend. That's make or break for us. Tynecastle, we can't be in with. No disrespect to Clinton Inciala, we can't be going to Tynecastle with Clinton Inciala there. Warren Shankland will destroy him. And that boy Braga as well, they'll destroy him.
Given that he's played 0 minutes this season, I believe. I don't think he's been on the pitch at all, has he? Inciala?
No, I don't. Not. I think the last time we seen him was at the end of last season. Barry Ferguson pulled him off after 20 minutes a day. He got a game for Rangers,
which is a shame.
Yeah, well, it's destroyed his confidence, really.
Martins came in and destroyed it even more, and then obviously Danny Rose been including him in match day squads and stuff. So maybe he's just one that will just take a bit of time, but we don't have time. And I wouldn't like to be Danny Rose anyway, put it that way.
Yeah. He's got his work cut out for him in January. We need to get to January. We need to put a good account of ourselves in and really, unfortunately the checkbook needs to come out in January. And the other kind of worry that you have is that we're going to be seen as vulnerable. So when we're arguing after players, agents and clubs are just going to be looking at us going, we know you really need this guy off us in the position that you're in. So the Rangers tax will get applied to it as it usually does. So, shocker. But anyway, guys, let's get a wee match prediction in here. Get your comments. I think somebody said that they think Rangers are going to win 3-1. I'd be absolutely over the blue moon if Rangers won 3-1 tonight. That would be there. But in all honesty, Glenn, I can't see it. But then again, I didn't see 3-0 at Rugby Park. Curry's got a 3-0 loss here. Who were you, Dino?
I like Nicky. 2-1 to them.
2-1 to Ferencváros.
That's exactly what I thought. What about you?
0-0 to Rangers. The thing that I like about when Rose came in, one of the first things I said when he came in, I said he needs to make us hard to beat, right? And he has, not necessarily in Europe, because we took a sore win against Brand, right? And we took a sore win against Roma. They weren't right, but see, domestically, he's made us hard to beat. We're scoring goals in the last minute, stuff like that. I know that's not an ideal situation. We should be running over these teams, but he's made us hard to beat. That was the first thing, actually, because we were toffee before. We were soft as S, if you know what I'm getting at. But he's doing that now, so let's see if that kind of transpires into Europe there. But I think this what Random Madness is saying there, that Barron's been class recently. Can't disagree with that just now. I'm thinking
Probably last.
A new contract for the wee man I was about to say there, so that's what I'm looking at.
100%. And probably the last 3 games he's been, if he's not been man of the match, he's been as good as the man of the match the last 3 games. Absolutely brilliant performance. And he's now playing, I think, the way that I thought he would be playing for us. Like Ryan Jack was for us. He's filling that role, and he's very, very dependable, and touch wood and all that he doesn't get injured like Ryan Jack.
Yeah. I think there's one, just a wee comment, but he gets too excited when he's shooting. I think that's probably the one thing of his game that he does miss, and that was probably the one thing that Raskin actually added to his game was goals. You know, Raskin's obviously with these wee front post headers that he was getting himself involved in. That's probably the difference, that, you know, Raskin will be a 15-20 million pound footballer and Barron won't be. It's just the goals. And probably, truth be told, that Raskin's playing for a more fashionable team in Belgium, and I think it's probably a kind of snootery and snobbiness from other clubs, especially south of the border, that would pay £15 million for a Belgian but not a Scot.
Aye, exactly. And what I do want to see is Barron not marking the 6'5" centre half.
Aye. It's crazy.
It's like the same height as me. You know what I mean?
It's not right. I mean, Diamandi's not on the team, is he?
Do you what?
Oh, sorry, mate. I've honestly zero prep for coming into this here. Let me just cut like that bit here. Sorry, he is in the team there.
Aye.
He's the one that usually stick on the guy. Diamandi for me is somebody we need to get him moved on. The fact he's not been called up to the Ivory Coast for the World Cup it's testament to his performance there.
Speaks volumes.
Sorry, Diamandi isn't in the team. I'm looking at the command. Like, sorry guys, forgive me. I'm literally just in the door before we started the podcast. I'm sorry. I'm usually a lot more organised than this. So Diamandi suspended. That's right. Yeah, he did. He get himself sent off in that game, didn't he? The last one.
Aye.
So madness. But anyway, guys, we'll get cracked on. Who's on the post match, mate?
Well, it's myself and somebody else at the moment.
Right, I'm not doing it. I've made a backside of myself on this one, so I'm gonna pass on the post match.
So well, the post match might not be on because I'm not coming on today on my own. So
aye, that's it. Just sit there and just look at it. And go, can't believe I just upped us again. But anyway, we'll get cracked on, guys. Hopefully everyone enjoys the game. There, what we 7 minutes to kick off. All the guys out in Hungary, hope you're enjoying yourselves. The price of the beer is unbelievable. I think they're getting litres of beer for about $2.30 or something like that. So
the
food looks incredible. It's a beautiful city. So apart from, obviously, I hope the game goes well. It's usually the football that destroys the trip for you, but I hope everyone's well and gets home safe. Look after each other. All right, bud. But I'll let you go on. All right. Every nice Rangers all night. Take care, guys.
Every night is the Rangers Journal night.